Good morning, students. I myself, Swain, welcome you to the GYANJYOTI online classes. Students, yesterday we have studied the SST, and now today also we will study SST, and in this series we will begin the Civics section. That is the chapter number 7. That is markets around us. So, students, what do you mean by market? Have you ever been to a market? There are different types of market. That may be if you go to garment shop, there are a lot of shops. That is a garment market. There are vegetable market. There is a supermarket, fish market, fruits market. So it differs from the commodities. What type of commodities are being sold there. So students, we need to learn. We need a lot of many things like groceries, vegetables, shoes, clothes, books on a regular basis. Some things which don't get spoiled soon, like the pulses, oil, sugar. Means, students, I can say that these non-perishable goods, they don't get damaged easily. Perishable things like milk, bread, vegetables, we get on almost daily basis. To get all these things, we need to go to a market. When we talk about market, we might be meaning the neighborhood store or a vegetable vendor, or a larger supermarket, a mall, a weekly market, or a wholesale market. So, students, you have been to the market most of the times, and now you can understand that how the different types of markets are being divided. And we can see that the prevalence of market prevailing in villages, towns, and cities also. Students, if we will study the word market literally, then by market we mean a place, physical or virtual, where buyers and sellers come in contact with each other and goods or services are exchanged. Students, here is a word called virtual. What do you mean by virtual? The e-commerce market means the products which we buy from, let us take the example of Flipkart, Amazon. So these are virtual market because we can't feel them. This is not physically in front of us. We just order them. Then we can get the product. So that is called the virtual market. Physical market means when we see the products and can feel them. We may wonder that how these goods reach the markets. What problems the producers and sellers face to bring these goods to the market and to provide us to available to us. So let us know about the more markets and how they function in this lesson. Students, the first one is retail. So what is the retail market? As discussed earlier, students, we need a large variety of goods on a regular basis. We often visit our local neighborhood markets for vegetables, fruits, milk, etc. etc. For branded products and other quality products, we visit big markets and malls, especially exclusive stores are there where we can find the particular variety of goods and items of different types. The activity of selling products directly to the consumers is called retailing. Students, I am writing the definition here, the activity of selling products directly to customers is called retailing. Retailers normally buy goods from the wholesalers in a limited quantity. Students, who are wholesalers means a person who has large quantity of goods and he or she provide it to the retailers and they sell it to the ultimate consumers or the customers who are we. Sometimes the manufacturers may supply directly to the retailers and even to the consumers through direct retail of factory products. Then, students, as I have told you that sometimes there are some manufacturers means the producers who directly supply the consumer items to the retailers through direct retail or factory products. Most of the time, retailers sell products of various different manufacturers. For example, a ready-made garments store may offer products of 20 different brands. Yes, it's true. They may provide different types of brands. Some retail stores sell products which are manufactured by them only for example Bata shoes and Zara for clothes. So these are students from branded items. Since retailers deal in small quantities, they do not need large storage space. Because students, let us take an example of a kirana shop. That is a retail store because they directly deal with the customers. They bring goods from a wholesaler. Let us take the example of a shop of Nopra district. He may be bringing the wholesale products from Khariar. That there are some wholesale shops there, and the shopkeepers, the big shopkeepers, the wholesalers of Khariar, they may be bringing the products from the factories. Let us take the example of edible oil. They are directly coming from the factories situated in Nigeria. So, and then next important thing is that good location for a retail store is very important. They need to be located close to the consumer or at locations where the where the footfall is good. A bookshop owner would look for a location where there are a number of schools in the locality, or there may be the presence of colleges. Students, let us take an example of bookshops. They may be situated near colleges or schools where the students directly can go to the bookshop and they can buy the books themselves. So they don't need to go to a farther place. Means students, if you ask a resident of Nopra, and if I will open a shop in Kurumpuri, let us take the example, or let us take example near Ghatipara. There is a rest house there, student of Government of Odisha. So can it is possible? Is it possible for a student to come to my bookshop, or anyone do you think that anyone will buy that books and textbooks or notebooks? No, because it is out of the locality. Students they will be unable to go there. So therefore, it is advised to open a shop nearby a school or college. I am giving you an example of bookshop. Okay, then what are the different types of retail markets? That is the next topic. Types of retail market. Students, as I have told you that you have understood the meaning of retailing. So the first one here is the neighborhood market. The first type of retail market is the neighborhood market. So students, do you know the meaning of neighbor? Means padosi. These markets cater to the daily needs of the customers and would be ideally located in the residential areas. This could be permanent structures like a general store, a chemist. Should say chemist means a medical store. A florist means the person who is supplying flowers, bouquets, or a beauty parlor. This could also be a roadside establishments like a fruit vendor, cobbler, when selling food items, especially students, the junk food or fast food. So these are the examples of the neighborhood markets. These markets may not often have large choices, but are vital for local people who fulfill their daily needs from such markets. Most of these establishments offer free home delivery and also offer a short-term credit to the regular customers. Students, if you have visited a, let us take an example of a fruit shop or a retail shop with your parents, if you are a regular customer of the shop, then they will provide you credit on a to regular customers, and you pay them on a monthly basis. Okay, students. Then next type of retail market is the supermarket. What is a supermarket, students? These are large retail stores like the Big Bazaar, Pantaloons, Central, Max Fashion. So these are the types of supermarket which offer a very large variety of products at compelling pricing, as the procurement is large and at times directly from the producer. Students, procurement means the collection, the amount of products stored there, because they directly they buy from the producers, the manufacturers, and they have some exclusive stores which is under a single roof. The main attraction for the buyer is availability of most of the needs under one roof. It is a self-service store offering a wide variety of food and household merchandise, organized into departments. It is a self-service store and is larger in size and has a wider selection than a traditional grocery store. Also selling items typically found in a convenience or a departmental store. Students, have you ever visited Big Bazaar, Pantaloons, Central, what the supermarket would, the examples which I have told you? It is situated in Bhubaneswar, Raipur and big metro cities. If you go there, students, you will find many items, hundreds of items being sold in a single roof. There are some exclusive stores, it may be garment stores, cosmetic stores, there are food items, eateries are there, and different types of toys, etc., etc. So you find this together in a single place. Now, students, the supermarket typically comprises meat, fresh produce, dairy and baked goods departments, along with shelf-space reserved for canned and packaged goods. Students, canned product means the products which are coming in packing canned. Like the example of cold drinks that comes in cans. Packaging also, packed foods are also present there. And as well as for various non-food items such as household cleaner, pharmacy products and pet supplies. Students, these are some of the examples of the products which is being available in the supermarket. Then, students, the next part of the types of retail market will study the malls. Students, what are malls? Malls is also a type of supermarket. A very large building or housing a number of establishments is called a mall. Students, a very large building housing a number of establishments. Housing means they give space to that large number of establishments or shops. These malls are very popular because the consumer can get almost all his needs, all his commodities of daily items, daily needs under a single roof, which is mostly an air conditioner malls. Nowadays, students, almost all the malls are air conditioned and have proper parking facilities. Means you don't need to worry about your vehicle. They have a parking lot below the mall. Whatever maybe consumers need, whether it is books, clothes, footwear, cosmetics, home appliances, etc., etc., they can be found here. Most of the malls have number of eateries, movie screens. Eateries like, students, it may be KFC, maybe McDonald's, maybe Domino's Pizza. Have you ever visited any mall? Have you ever eaten? You may have eaten pizzas. They have multiplexes also, students, like PVR Cinemas, INOX, AdLabs. So there are some places where people can enjoy along with their family members. Students, in most of the malls they have some gaming zone where small children they can play games. There are different type of games, students, like bike racing with the help of different machineries. Then students, the next category of retail market is the weekly markets. Students, what do you mean by weekly markets? By this word, weekly, we may have understood means markets which are present in any area and which sit for once in a week. Like example, we will take Nopra, then weekly market sits on Sundays. On our town, students, Tuesday is the day of our weekly market. This temporary markets, these students, they are temporary. These temporary markets come up in a particular area on a fixed day of the week. This happens mainly in the rural areas, but they are common in urban areas also, not just in rural areas. Urban areas, semi-urban areas, we can find weekly markets. So, these markets do not have permanent sale. Temporary structures are laid out on the day of the market and removed by nightfall. All kind of goods ranging from fresh fruits and vegetables, food grains, potteries, clothes, cosmetic items, etc. can be found here. The prices are very reasonable as there are hardly any overheads, and also because farmers themselves bring their produce to sell the different items, eliminating middlemen and their margins. A very large number of people across the country depend on these weekly markets for their needs. Friends, it's true that large number of people, like let us take the example of ourselves, we depend on these weekly markets. Especially students, these weekly markets, they provide vegetables, clothes, footwear, cosmetic items. Usually the village people, if they can't afford to go to the malls, shopping malls, supermarkets, big stores. So, these weekly markets are very famous among the local folks, the local people. Then students, the last series of retail market is the online retail. Friends, what do you mean by online retail? It means the e-commerce, the products which we buy from the online market, that is Flipkart, Amazon. So these are the best examples of our online e-commerce websites. The advent of mobile phones and good internet connectivity has given a huge boost to the online retail in the last few years. Giant online retailers like the Amazon, Flipkart, Walmart, Myntra, so these are the some online big retailers who provide goods and in a reasonable rate. Most of the products we get from them in a reasonable rate. They have the advantage of volumes to offer prices less than the physical stores. Thus, the amount of product and the quality, that is also good there. The price also is very low because they directly get the products from the producers. They don't have any middlemen, they don't have wholesalers, they don't have retailers. They have very low overhead as they need not have expensive showrooms at premium locations. Since their volumes are huge, they are able to bargain better with the manufacturers and can pass on those benefits to the consumers. The ultimate consumers are the customers who want to get the goods from the online markets. Consumers also feel that they need not step out of their house to fulfill their needs. At the reach of your hands, at your fingersteps, you can get any product of your own choice by getting a variety of choices at your doorstep. The salesman will come himself at your doorstep to provide the products. The increasing presence of online retailers is going to be a problem for small-time retailers who are finding it difficult to compete with these companies and are worried about their future. These companies also have an advantage of aggressive marketing campaign which small time retailers cannot afford. Students, it is the ultimate advantage of the consumers and the product manufacturing giants also, because they sell the products in the shops, in the retail markets, in the online markets and in the factories also. So they have the ultimate advantage. At the end of the day, the products are being sold in a large manner. Then students, now the next subtopic in your chapter is people's choice of markets. Students, depends that what type of choice means their own choice of markets. Everybody has their own choice of markets. Following are the factors that influence a consumer's choice and their preference over the market. So what are they? Students, I have written here 5 points. First one is convenience, second one is availability, third one is spending capacity, fourth one is quality and variety, and the fifth one is the price. Students, the very first point in the choice, people's choice is consumers wants to go to a market which is closest to them. Yes, it's true. The example which I have given you, if I will open a bookshop 5 kilometers away from Nobda, who will come? Nobody will come. So I have to open a shop nearer to the people's residences, by which they can come to me and buy and they will move easily. Then students, the next one is availability. The consumer may be looking for a product which may not be available in the local market. If someone wants to buy a washing machine, they will look for a good electronic store where they can get all the electronic products. It may be washing machine, it may be refrigerator, it may be LED TVs, it may be mixer grinder, air conditioners. They may go to the electronic store. You don't get in the weekly markets this type of products. Students, the third one is spending capacity. Every consumer may not be high net worth. So when they want to make expensive purchase, say a refrigerator, they may be looking for a store offering an installment scheme. Students, nowadays different stores, shopping malls, let us take an example. They are providing installment schemes. Let us take the example of Bajaj Financial Services. They provide loan to buy their home appliances. Then students, next is quality and variety. If a consumer wants a specific product of good quality, they won't mind traveling little far away store, which a store will be good quality and variety. Students, if a store or a mall is providing good quality products, people won't mind to travel more. Let us take example of Raipur market. If you think that you don't get the required products of yours in this Nobda district, then you will move to Raipur in search of good products. Then students, it is the price. What is the price? Price is the most important factor which matters. This is another factor which varies from person to person. Some people want value for money and go for the extra distance for a lesser price. Some people who are well off wouldn't mind paying a little more for the convenience of a mall or a supermarket. Okay, students. Now we'll study the next type of market, that is the wholesale market. We have studied, students, the retail market very well in detail. What are the different types of market? What are the choice of people that influence them a lot? Now the next is the wholesale. Wholesalers buy goods in large quantities from the manufacturer or producers to be said to be sold to the retailers and ultimately to the consumers or the customers like us. They rarely sell these goods to consumers. Wholesalers normally deal in a few items they specialize in. Since they deal in large quantities, they need a big space for storage. Such spaces are called warehouses, godowns. Students, there may be wholesalers who deal in a particular quantity like product, potato, onion, coconut. So they may sell a single product, the wholesalers, because they need a large space. So they if they don't have places to store, they deal with only one product. All cities have specific areas which are assigned as wholesale markets. Most of the times they are little away from central areas. A good example is the Kharibauli, Delhi, which is a wholesale spice market selling all kinds of spices, dry fruits, herbs and fruit products like rice and tea. Students, this is the example of Delhi. Let us take the example of Raipur. There is some market where you can find only spices. If you go to a market like Sadar Bazaar, Zaveri Bazaar, then you can find the jewelry stores, bookstores. So there are some particular markets where we can find particular products in large numbers or wholesalers. Here an example is given. The Kharibauli in Delhi, situated Delhi, is a wholesale market for spice, spelling of spice, dry fruit, herbs and fruit products. Let us understand how wholesale trade works and challenges it faces. Okay, then we'll move to next. Next, students, there are some points related to the wholesale markets. For success in wholesale distribution, one needs to buy quality products in high demand at low prices. This is usually achieved through high volume. Students, unless and until you buy the products at high volume or large quantities, you don't get the products at low prices. This is usually done by purchasing them items in bulk. Bulk means in large quantities. Wholesale distributors are able to get a low price from manufacturers. Wholesaler then sells again in bulk to retailers at a slightly marked up price and keep the differences after accounting expenses as profits. So from that the profit is needed. Since wholesalers have to bear the cost of transportation of goods from the manufacturer to the retailers, they are sensitive to rise in the cost of transportation. In many cases, wholesale distributors have limited room to stock inventory. Now, the next point is that at times wholesale distributors keep a large inventory to ensure smooth supplies to the markets. This comes with its own risk. The demand of such goods might depend large stocks may be left over leading to blocked capital. So, leading to the risk of spoilage of goods, they usually give the products to the consumers, to the retailers, sometimes at low prices. Students, the next subtopic in the chapter is from farm to market. Students, farm means the field from where the produce is happening. To have a better understanding, let us trace the journey of a cotton shirt. Okay, an example has been taken that how a cotton shirt is being made and being supplied to the consumer, how he wears it, and what are the different steps being taken for a cotton shirt being made. So, Rajas Export House bags an order for 20,000 shirts, 20,000 pieces of shirts from S.St Enterprises, USA. Let us take the example. He is asking for an import of 20,000 shirts from USA. Cotton, the raw material for the shirt, is produced by the farmers in Maharashtra and turned into yarns. And the weavers weave the material, and the materials are purchased by the wholesale merchants from where Rajas Export House obtains the material. A garment is then designed and stitched by the tailors of the export house in factories. Students, sorry, I have mistaken. It is not import, it is export. Now, the exporter now packs and ships the consignment to SAM Enterprises USA, where the demand of the cotton stuffs from India is very high because the quality of cotton which we are growing is very high. SAM Enterprises in turn distributes the shirts to the retailers and makes a sizable profit. The retailers mark up the price and makes a huge profit. Let us see how much margin each player in this journey is made. So what are the type of the profit? The farmers, first of all, let us take the example of farmers who actually produce the cotton. Low profit margin on raw material. Next is weaver, marginal profit. The wholesalers, marginal increase in unit price. Rajesh export house, reasonably high profit margin because they are actually the persons who export them to the USA. SAM Enterprises, high profit margin. Retailers in USA, very high profit margin. Means at the end of the topic, we came to know that the retailers in the USA who actually sell the shirt to the consumers, they are in a stage of very high profit margin. Then students, our next subtopic here is the workers in the unorganized sectors. So who are the workers? Unorganized sector. Students, the government has made many laws to protect the interest of the workers, but in reality, big companies and exporters to make huge profit, big profits. To remain competitive in the market, they resort to certain measures which harm the interest of the workers. They usually don't think about the conditions of the laborers. The large foreign importers order their products from Indian importers and look for the cheapest goods in order to maximize their profits. To get these large orders, Indian garment exporters try cost cutting. As cost cutting of raw materials cannot be reduced, exporters tend to cut labor cost, whereas earlier a manufacturing unit would employ workers on a permanent basis. Now they do not have to pay temporary basis, so that they do not have to pay them for the whole year. The workers also have to put in very long working hours and work night shift on regular basis just to complete the orders. Wages are very low and workers are forced to work overtime to finish the order. So this is how the rights of the workers are being denied by the exporters or the producers or the factory owners. Students, the last subtopic in this chapter is safeguarding the interests of the workers. It means how it can be safeguarding the consumers' interest. Sorry, it is about the consumer. Consumer means, students, we the people are the consumers who actually buy the product. Individual consumers sometimes find themselves in a helpless situation when they do not get what they were promised. It may be air conditioner which is not cooling enough within a few weeks of purchase, lesser weight in case of groceries, medicines which are of expiry dates, past expiry dates. The consumers feel cheated under this type of circumstances. This is how people are being cheated in different products, in different fields. Therefore, the Government of India has passed an Act in 1986. So, what is that Act, friends? Consumer Protection Act. Consumer Protection Act 1986, which ensures the following as rights which every consumer is empowered with. The right to be get protected against the marketing of goods and services which are hazardous to life and property. The right to be informed about the quality, quantity, potency, purity, standard and price of goods or services. as the case may be, so far as to protect the consumer against unfair trade practices. So we have a right to get informed about the quality and quantity of the products, the standard of the products. Next students, the next is the right to be assured wherever possible access to a variety of goods and services at competitive prices. We have a right that we should be assured that the variety of goods and services at competitive prices. The right to be heard and to be assured that consumers' interests will receive due consideration at appropriate forums. They must be listened. They must get their own products of their own interest. The last one is students. Second last is the right to seek redressal or the justice against unfair trade practices or restrictive trade practices or unscrupulous exploitation of consumers. Then the right to consumer education and the right to choose. Students, every customer has the right to choose product of his or her choice, and he or she has also the right to complain against the quality and the quantity of the product, whatever it may have been promised. Then students, India has been observing 24 December as every year National Consumers Day. Students, National Consumers Day is being celebrated on 24th December. It was on this day that Indian Parliament enacted the Consumer Protection Act in 1986 on this day. Then, India is one of the countries that has exclusive courts for consumer redressal or consumer forums. So students, this was the end of the topic for today, that is the chapter markets around us. Students, I hope you would have understood the chapter. So while watching this video, please refer to the textbook. Then only you can understand the chapter very well. So students, by saying this, I may say goodbye to all of you. Thank you students. Stay home, stay safe.